mission of the church is big for you, and I love your definition of mission of the church is to create disciples through gospel proclamation.
Yeah.
And I guess that's not your mission of the church, that's the Bible's mission of the church. In a simplistic way, how do we encourage the church to be the church missionally, under that definition, both corporately and individually?
To carry out that mission of making disciples. Well, a few things come to mind. One, I think a lot of churches are already doing this. Second, I think we need to make clear, because when you just say that, when you say the mission of the church is to make disciples through the preaching of the gospel, there's hardly a person who would disagree with that until you start to say, okay, if that is the mission of the church, what might it mean the mission of the church is not? And that's where people get a little worried. Okay, so if that's the mission of the church, is the mission of the church then that there's or less unemployment in our city? Should it be the mission of our church that fewer kids are on free and reduced lunch? Should it be the mission of the church that the firefighters and the police officers know that we adopt their fire station and help paint walls or something? Well, there's a thousand good things that the church could do, and a particular church may feel called to do that. But if we're really serious on what the mission of the church is, it's not really a mission if we say yes to that and yes to everything else. It's only a mission if
it's distinct.
If there's distinct and there's some sense of priority to it. And that means we're going to be about making disciples, not just making decisions, but making disciples for Christ through teaching and through gospel proclamation. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone's individual calling in life is to be an evangelist. For most people, it's not. They're all called to do evangelism and share the good news, but we want lawyers to be great lawyers, and we want business people and teachers and videographers, and we want them to be really excellent at their craft and to do it to the glory of God and not feel ashamed that, well, I just spliced video today and I didn't plant a church. I guess I'm failing. No, you're not. But if that's what the church is doing, well, then the church is failing, because the church has a unique, distinct mission in the world, and if the church does not do it, no one else will do it. Oprah's not going to do it. The UN's not going to do it. Bono's not going to do it. Government program's not going to do it. The church must bear witness to Christ. And you see in the book of Acts, I'm preaching through Acts right now, this is what the apostles did. I mean, they didn't open a recycling center. They preached the gospel, planted churches, strengthened existing congregations, and that ought to set our priorities as well.